The last village of Skara Brae. The last village. The village of Skara Brae is more than 4,000 years old. It was built on the biggest island of the Orkney in a time which archaeologists call the New Stone Age. The people who lived then made tools like knives and axes from stone, usually flint. Orkney, Great Britain, Skara Brae. People lived together in small villages and grew crops like barley and wheat, and kept animals. Skara Brae was buried for over 4,000 years under tons of sand and soil, and wasn't found again until 1850. The Great Storm 1850. In the winter of 1850, first storm battered the British Isles. 200 people living near the coast were drowned. Huge waves crashed onto the coast of the Bay of Skara. What was found? Tons of sand and soil were washed away or blown away by the strong winds. The storm uncovered the remains of stone walls. Sir William Watt, who owned the land, and some of his farm workers started to dig around the walls. Digging carried on for 18 years during the short summer months. 4 stone houses were found, complete apart from their roofs. Beds, fireplaces, and shelves, all made of stone, were also found inside the houses. Small finds like pots, tools, and necklaces were taken to Sir William's home, although now they are kept in museums. This bead necklace was found in one of the houses. Another storm and more finds. In 1925, Orkney was struck by another great storm. More sand and soil were washed away by the huge waves and strong winds. Some of the houses at Skara Brae were damaged, but the remains of other houses were uncovered. Between 1928 and 1930, archaeologists found another 4 buildings linked to the original houses by baths. Inside the houses, they also found knife blades made of stone, and pens and beads made of bone. These things show us what tools the people who lived in the village used, and how they fastened and decorated their clothes. This stone knife would have been used to cut meat or wood. The village then. The houses were so well preserved that we can easily imagine what the village might have looked like more than 4,000 years ago. Workshop, making tools from flint, house. Up to 20 families would have lived in Skara Brae. How they lived. We know what the villagers would have eaten from the tools, bones, and shells that have been found. The villagers would have kept pigs and cattle, hunting deer for meat and skins, fishing and collecting shellfish to eat. The village today. Today, visitors to Orkney can see how a house might have looked. The original roof has rotted away. A new one made from wood and whale's ribs, covered with moss, has been placed over one room. Beds filled with bracken to make a mattress. Blankets made from animal skins. Copies of the villagers' most precious objects, beads, pens, and pots, have been placed on the stone dresser. Animal skin curtains have been hung around the stone bed. Bead necklace, bracelet, and pens made from wireless tusks. Fireplace. Modern Orkneys. Today, over 19,000 people live on the islands, and their way of life is very different from the way people lived in the New Stone Age. Farming is still important, especially beef farming, but there is also an oil terminal and the most up-to-date plant in Britain for making electricity from wave power. This machine of the Orkneys is turning waves into electricity. But Orkney's past is important too, and many people come to see Skara Brae and the other world-famous sites. In the Orkneys, they help modern visitors understand what life was like 5,000 years ago. Glossary. Archaeologists, people who learn about the past by studying objects that have been dug up. Bracken, a fern-like plant. Dresser, a set of shelves for storing dishes, etc. Finds, objects found by archaeologists that can tell them about the past. Flint, a type of stone that can be sharpened to make simple tools. New Stone Age, a time in history when people used stone to make tools. It began about 11,000 years ago and ended about 4,000 years ago. Orkneys, a group of 70 islands off the north coast of Scotland. Plant, a factory preserved kept as they were. Wireless, an animal like a seal, but much bigger and with very long tusks. It lives in the sea and on beaches. Wave power, electricity that is created from the movement of the sea. Skara Brae through time. 4,000 years ago, life at Skara Brae. 1850, the Great Storm. 1850–51, the first dig. 1925, the second storm. 1928–30, the second dig. Now, one house rebuilt. The end. Goodbye, my friends.